All right, good evening. Welcome to the June 12th, 2025 meeting of the Alameda Recreation and Parks Commission. Can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, Commissioner Alexander,
Here.
Commissioner Robbins,
Here.
and Vice Chair Schwartz.
Here. All right, great. First item on our agenda is non-agenda public comment. If members of the public can speak for 3 minutes on any matter and not on the agenda, commissioners will not respond or answer questions. The city welcomes speakers providing public comment, but please be advised this is a limited public forum. As such, speakers must stay on topic if speaking to a particular agenda item, and if speaking during non-agenda public comment, they must address matters within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city. If speakers fail to follow these rules, they will be warned, and if they continue to disregard the rules, their opportunity to speak will be ended. Do we have any non-agenda tonight?
We do. We have one in-person speaker, Speaker Henry Song.
Welcome, Speaker Song.
Sorry, my first time here. Please bear with me. Good evening, commissioners. Thanks for your time. My name is Henry Song, and I'm a long-time parks user and patron of Alameda Parks here for over 15 years. I've been a racket sports connoisseur of sorts, if you will, for almost 3/4 of my existence. You know, playing ping pong with my dad as a 5-year-old boy. I've dabbled poorly in squash and racquetball, and of course, the longest being is that I've been a longtime tennis player for over 15 years. And I'm here to talk about the growing concern about the expansion of pickleball here in Alameda Parks. I know there were some policy and action items on and off for several years through the Parks Commission and of course through the city to provide space for pickleball players. But I think at the very least, I think going forward, the commission and the Parks and City Council should reconsider or at least look for ways to limit pickleball play in certain areas of Alameda based on some pressing issues, being that issues like equity, environmental impact, displacement of tennis players, and documented behavioral issues. So with equity, public parks are meant to serve for a diverse, demographics of individuals who come and use public facilities, not just the loudest or the latest trend that takes place in our public space. But what we're seeing is an imbalance in that pickleball groups effectively monopolize certain courts using ways to fence off public spaces and pressuring various city officials and volunteer commissioners to give them exclusive access. In fact, in a study in 2023 reported by USTA, 40% of public tennis courts in some California cities have been converted or disrupted by pickleball overlays, and that in some ways, and also in the process of taking out access to youth and children being able to use public space is not equitable. And then there's the environmental issues where the sounds of pickleball can exceed over 70 to 80 decibels. That is also the equivalence of a vacuum running nonstop, potentially for 12 hours. And that has given some distress to even homeowners and nearby residents who are unable to bear with the incessant noise and the pop, not being able to extricate from those situations. And of course, with the tennis players being pushed out because they're often forced to in these situations where they have to shared spaces. And in one very egregious incident last September, my hitting partner was threatened by pickleball players at Ladecker Park because they kept cutting through, in the middle of our live rally and refusing to walk around in the walkway that's behind the tennis courts. And such behavior has gotten so out of hand that I think coexistence is becoming a problem. So I think going forward, if it comes to the point where the coexistence is not possible, then I think that we need to look for ways to either keep the two activities from butting heads going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker Song. Any other speakers? Great. All right, we'll close non-agenda public comment. Next on our agenda is staff communication. So Director Long.
All right, thank you, commissioners. Tonight's director's report is going to go over upcoming events and actions that we have going on. To start, for our upcoming citywide community events, The Rhythmics Rising Sea Performance Series will take place Saturday, June 21st at 1 p.m. at Svensson Maritime Park, and that is located north of the estuary off of Clement. On Saturday, July 11th, they're also going to have a performance from 1 to 4 at Shoreline Park and Bay Farm with live music and dance theater, and you can get more details from rhythmics.org. Alameda Walks will be taking place in Bay Farm Island Saturday, June 28th from 9 until 10:15, and you'll meet at Godfrey Park, which is at 281 Beach Road. And then for our department upcoming events, the 57th Annual Sandcastle Sculpture Contest will take place Saturday, June 21st from 9 until 1 p.m. at the Robert Crown Memorial State Beach. It's sponsored by ARPD in partnership with the East Bay Park District. And then our Starlight in the Movies series will be taking place on June 27th. It'll be playing Despicable Me 4. It'll be taking place at the Alameda Point Multipurpose Field. The event begins at 6:30 with the movie starting around 8:15. Again, it's summer, but it's a little windy out there, so please dress appropriately. And then we had the 48th Annual 4th of July Parade taking place, which we're excited for. This will be the third one that the department has organized. It'll take place at 10 a.m. We already have over 100 entries. The closeout for entries is soon. It happens on the 16th. And so if anyone is actively trying to participate in the parade, please go to our website and sign up. So currently our recreation programs, we're transitioning from going from school year to summer programs, and most of our programs will start this coming week. We've been spending all week doing in-service training for almost 250 staff between aquatics and our recreation programs. And so we're getting ready for just a busy summer. The fall, if you guys all have a copy, we just sent out our fall activity guide. Most residents will be receiving it in the mail shortly, so you can get a sneak peek on what we're offering this fall. And then some highlights of what happened over the month. So we had the National Kids to Parks Day, which took place on May 17th at Upper Washington. We had over 250 people take part. We had demonstrations, skateboarding, martial arts, yoga, and activities for all ages. We also had the 11th Annual Play for the Parks Golf Tournament, which was held on May 19th at Carica Park, and then was followed by a dinner and silent auction at the Harrison Center. I was able to at least participate in the dinner. There was a really good turnout. We had a lot of people there, so thank you to the Friends of Alameda Parks. For aquatics, all of our programs this summer are taking place at the Encinal Swim Center. If you're going there for open swim, just be aware that we have a very packed schedule, so there's very limited space, but we are trying to make room for everyone the best we can. The summer aquatic programs are filling up quickly. There's still a few things available, so please, if folks are trying to get into private or group lessons, we do have some room. We have themed camps such as Aqua Sports, Wild West Coast, and then Heroes versus Villains and Aqua Fashion. Our dine-in movie night will be taking place featuring Sky High. It takes place Friday, July 18th. The event begins at 6:30 p.m. with the movie starting around 8:15. Please feel free to bring your own floats, rafts, chairs, and blankets. Have a fun time. For our youth for the summer, our youth field trips are filling up quickly. There's a couple of spaces available in Aqua Adventures. They're going to be going down to Fremont. They're going to go to Cole Canyon in Castro Valley, and then the Adventure Playground in Berkeley. There's a few spaces still left in our STEAM camps that are held at Ladecker Park and our Trails End and WOW camps at various locations. Our Parks and Playground program, which we're bringing back for this summer, will be taking place June 16th through August 8th, Monday through Friday, from 12:30 until 4:30, and these will be taking place at Lincoln, Sweeney, Tillman, and Washington Parks. This is a free drop-in program that provides special activities for kindergartners through fifth graders, and note that parents and caregivers are required to stay with their children throughout the activity. Our tween teen group, our Operation Green Sweep summer program, is still seeking some interested teens in helping maintain our parks while earning community service hours. It meets Mondays and Fridays from 9:30 until 12:30, and that goes from June 23rd through July 25th. They meet at the Veterans Memorial Building on Central Avenue. You can check out our website for more options there. We have spots that are still filling up in our tween adventure camps, held at Longfellow Center with day trips to Quarry Park, the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, the American River Whitewater Rafting, and Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. There's just a few spots left, so if people want to jump into that. For sports, not just sports camps featuring a balance of athletic development and creative exploration begin June 16th through the summer at Tillman Park. We also have pickleball camps that will be offered June 16th through the summer at the Alameda Point Gym. We also have open gym time, which continues Sunday evenings from 6 until 10 p.m. throughout the summer at the Alameda Point Gym. And then ARPD adult pickleball and tennis classes will continue to be offered throughout the summer at various locations. And for Mastic, we have some new classes. There's Glam and Glow, which is a wig and beauty shop workshop, the second Thursday of each month beginning June 12th, 2 p.m. through 3 p.m. in room D. There's going to be a tea blending workshop that's coming up very shortly with the Alameda Backyard Growers. This is Saturday, June 14th from 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. Learn the benefits of creating your own blend. The ABCs of long-term care insurance takes place on July 8th from 10 to 11 a.m. in the media room. And then our upcoming senior trip is to the Exploratorium. The After Dark event celebrates Pride and Queer Science. This takes place Thursday, June 26th at 4 p.m. till 9:30 p.m. Some highlights from the Senior Center this month. Over 40 new members joined up at Mastic. We also had a day trip to Favoli Garden at Woodside, Friday, May 30th. The Mastic Multi-Art exhibit featuring 156 spectacular pieces of art by 88 Mastic artists are currently on display. So if you get a chance, swing down, go to the lobby and check out the art. They'll be on display until August 18th. And then the Mastic Senior Center Advisory Board, MASCAB, it meets on the third Wednesday of the month from 9:30 till about 11:30 in room D. All members are welcome. It has to do with helping with the management of the facility, offering programs, and really just about the facility care. There's also extended hours now. We're offering Monday through Friday, 9 until 4, and then Saturdays, 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. The thrift shop is open Tuesdays and Saturdays from 10 until 2, and our third day of the week is now open from 1 until 5. And we still take Thursdays from 10 until 2. This last month, we had over 99 volunteer with over 1,300 hours. There were over 212 bags of harvest handed out, and then they served over 1,230 meals. And then we have upcoming here is for the Leisure Club. There's the Leisure Club Talent Show. It takes place this Thursday, June 26th, from 7 until 9 at the Harris Center. It's a great event. If any get a chance to do it, I highly recommend it. It's just a great, fun performance. So it's a great way to support the Leisure Club. For parks, there were a few tree removals at Lincoln, Towanda, Littlejohn, and Woodstock. Staff is keeping up with the demands with the over 40 picnics we're having on the weekends, and also our school picnics. So they're really pushing our weekend staff to the limits. Then we've got the Lydecker pickleball courts. Lights have been repaired and are now fully functioning. We did a community input survey for the layout of the Lydecker playground, and it has just concluded. We had over 700 respondents. And then 8 park staff members attended a sports maintenance association training in Auburn in May. Included everything from equipment demos, infield, surfacing repair, fertilization, and had also some other vendor stations. Now, we'd like to recognize a new staff member. Congratulations to Oscar Ledesma. He's just been promoted to park supervisor. And so he's been with us, he's shown great leadership, strong work ethic, and committed to mentoring staff. We'd also like to give a shout out to Eric Vinar. He's the existing park supervisor for his outstanding leadership and commitment to the ARP team. He brings a positive and solution-focused mindset every day, and he keeps everyone in good spirits, even though we're almost sometimes drowning in everything. So, but thanks to Eric. So with that, that's my report.
Great. Any questions, commissioners? Great, thank you, Director Long. All right, next up, we have Commissioner Communications. Commissioner Alexander, can you kick us off?
Sure, thank you. I attended the public meeting about the proposal of the Wave Park down on the base. There was several hundred people there. It was an interesting event. I'm looking forward to hearing more about that in the future as plans go forward. I attended the Friends of the Park golf tournament. It was a very successful event, one of the best ever. Personally, I would like to thank ARPD for having a foursome this year and for so many of the staff members coming and attending the dinner. That was really nice. Again, these parks are full. Every time I drive by any one of them, there's 2 soccer games, 2 baseball games, volleyball here. Just, they're so full that I just want to thank staff for their hard work to keep everything in such good working order. And the parks are clean, the garbage cans are not full, just a wonderful job. And I would also like to thank ARPD for sending out the email updates of what programs are filling up quickly. I think that's really a great idea, and it's very helpful to parents to see, you know, I want to get my kid in the class, but oh, it's full, or I better get in there. So I think that's a really good program that we've established, and I hope that will continue. And I would like to just piggyback. Yes, Eric is wonderful. I deal with him many times when I go in the office, and he is quite helpful.
Commissioner Robbins?
Thank you. For the parents that are out there that are listening, the internship programs that ARPD has for students, whether it's 14 to 16-year-old where it's community service hours, or being able to then, as they get older, be able to work for the city, is a phenomenal asset for us. I had 3 students that got accepted into the aquatics internship program this year, and all 3 of their parents just couldn't say enough about the fact that their students would have an opportunity like this. So I encourage parents to take a look at the website, call the office, and find out when internships are available, because it's a great way to get your students, keep them busy over the summer, and to get them on track to potentially having a paid position at some time in the future. The art in the lobby, please go and look at, but don't get frustrated when you find out that some of them aren't for sale, especially the 2 that I wanted. It happened to me last year as well. So, but it is phenomenal, the amount and diversity of the artwork that is available. So please take a look at it. I'm really happy that we've extended the hours to Saturdays. The other thing that I would like to see for those of us that are not retired yet is it would be great to be able to offer some courses in the evening, even if we just started 1 evening a week, just to see what the response might be for those classes. But I really am happy that we've extended it to Saturdays so that none of the classes that are offered right now are of particular interest to me, but I'm keeping my eyes open and look forward to taking those classes. And the Exploratorium, the Thursday after hours program that they have, it runs all year long, and it's a phenomenal way for you to go, for those adults without their children, to be able to enjoy the Exploratorium and see it from your own lens as opposed to your student's lens. But the one on June 26th, I'll be there, and I hope to see some individuals from the community there as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So last month, I actually didn't go to my typical cruisy in Lincoln Park. We actually twice rode our bikes to Gene Sweeney. But I just wanted to comment how, I'm always in awe of that, how well that playground kind of just blends into the surrounding. But yet there's tons of kids there, tons of picnics going on. And so that's been I'd say we go there occasionally, ride bikes, but definitely more frequently now that, my son wants to take bike rides and the weather's been so nice. So that's been a nice change. Actually drove past Lydecker a couple different times this week, going to the ferry and then driving around trying to get my son to take a nap. And as Commissioner Alexander mentioned, pickleball courts full every time. Kids on the playground, the new landscaping looks great. So really excited to see, the I think biggest change, which will then be when we get the playground updated, and we'll be interested to see what the survey results are that just closed. Really excited for swim lessons to start next week. My son signed up for a couple sessions, so excited to get him back in the pool. And that's all I have for today. Thanks. All right, next we have our approval of the minutes from the May 8th meeting, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Could we get a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Alexander,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
Vice Chair Schwartz.
Yes. Motion approved. All right, next on to our regular agenda items. We have two today. First one is agenda item 6A, which will be a presentation on the adult and youth athletic programming. We'll have a presentation. Commissioners can ask clarifying questions. We'll have some time for public comment, but there's no motion to make on this today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joey Carroll. I am the Recreation Supervisor here at Alameda Rec and Park Department, overseeing adult and youth sports. I also oversee facility rentals here with the program, or the department, I should say, and also oversee facility staffing, so Alameda Point Gymnasium, all of our staff members who work the gym during the evenings and on the weekends, in addition to the staffing that works our community center rentals that take place on the weekends as well. So pleasure to be here. Been here for a little over a year, and enjoyed my time so far. So yeah, we'll get started. So a little bit about myself. I grew up in the North Bay from a town called Windsor, California. Grew up playing youth sports. Some of the photos, I grew up playing football, ran track and cross country in high school. Following my time at Windsor High School, I went to St. Mary's College of California in Moraga, where I got my degree, undergrad in sports management. I met my wife there, and we live now in Concord. After that, I went to Holy Names University in Oakland, California, where I was Assistant Athletic Director for Facilities and Events, overseeing all game day operations over there, as well as taking care of all of the staffing that took place, as well as all the field coordination, scheduling, smaller school. So you definitely have to get creative with making sure that you have the correct facilities and adequate facilities for your sport programs. Unfortunately, Holy Names University closed down a few years ago, and luckily I was able to get over to Academy of Art University in San Francisco, doing similar work over there, game day operations. So had a great time over there. And after that, I was lucky to get over here with the City of Alameda Rec and Park Department. So have a big background in athletics, specifically college athletics, but I'm happy that I can come here and take my skills and what I've learned to the Parks and Rec Department. Just a little bit about myself too. I'm a big hiker, so my friends and I, we always go up to Yosemite every year, so that's the picture of us. So getting right into youth sports, I'm going to touch briefly on our three kind of flagship programs that take place during the academic year, starting off with after-school pickleball. So during the academic year, we offered after-school pickleball for our 6th and 8th graders, hour and a half at the Alameda Point Gymnasium on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We coordinate with the Teen Center this year to have individuals interested in participating picked up at AOA, ACLC, Junior Jets, Lincoln, NEA, and Wood. So As we all know, pickleball has gotten very popular over here with the city of Alameda, and we had a lot of enthusiasm from parents to get their kids acclimated into the sport. So another one of our programs that we currently offer during the school year is homeschool PE. 3 hours at the Alameda Point Gymnasium on Wednesdays and Fridays during the week. Primary goal is introducing sports, activities, exercise to individuals who do not have the same opportunities compared to individuals enrolled in schools. So, we want to make sure that we're catering to all individuals, not just those who are enrolled in school districts here at the city of Alameda, but we want to make sure that we also offer programs to those who are homeschooled. So this is a great program for those who are homeschooled to stay active, meet some new friends, and interact with our fun staff, as you can see. And then group youth tennis lessons that take place throughout the year, depending on the season. Offer 30-minute classes to participants aging from 6 to 14 years old. Primary focus is introducing participants to the game, with an emphasis on teaching fundamentals such as hand-eye coordination and developing essential motor skills. We're very excited to continue those tennis lessons going into the summertime. We have a new tennis instructor that will be starting on July 12th. Looking forward to having him instruct the new youth who are going to be enrolled in these classes. So yeah, we're very excited. So again, those are our 3 programs that are kind of our flagship programs that take place throughout the school year. And then as Mr. Long has mentioned, we're gearing up for summer. And as always, we're very busy at this time of year, but I'm going to touch a little bit about the camps that we're going to be offering at the Alameda Point Gym as well as the Tillman Park. I'm not going to go through everything all in detail, but just going to list them off really quick. I'll just kind of do a little summary when I'm done. But so we're going to be offering pickleball, volleyball, basketball, flag football, ultimate frisbee. It's our pilot season for ultimate frisbee. We have a few individuals who have that experience right now who are playing on teams who are going to be orchestrating those camps. So very much looking forward to having or implementing that camp into our arsenal this year. Our standard all sports camp, which is a variety of activities that take place during the day. This can be from dodgeball, capture the flag, pickleball too, more variety, and those are our day-long camps from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Alameda Point Gymnasium. And then we go on to Not Just Sports, which takes place at Tillman Park, and we're going to be going back and forth between tennis as well as soccer. So the morning is focused more on arts and crafts, kind of your stereotypical kind of camp games that you will see at any one of our camps, but in the afternoon, it's more sports specialized. So it's kind of a combination of maybe what we're offering in one of our other programs, but also has our sport twist to it. So just giving some more variety. But those are our main kind of summer camps that are taking place. And, we're very much looking forward to this year. In addition to all of our staff that we have, we love our group. We have a lot of hardworking, enthusiastic individuals who want to do what's best for the public and for their youth who are enrolled. And again, we're very much looking forward to it. So touching a little bit now on some special events that we hold throughout the year. Larger programs. One is the Elks Hoop Shoot Contest that took place this past December. Will be taking place this coming December as well. It is a partner with the Alameda Elks Lodge. It's a free throw program for youth ages 8 to 13, 3 age divisions for boys and girls, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, and 10 to 11. It's a national event that has been going on for 50 years. And winners go on to district, state, regional, and finally national contests. So we have the preliminary contest that takes place at the Alameda Point Gym. A couple photos from this past December. And just to give some numbers, we had we had 130 kids participated at our preliminary contest. So we get a really big turnout, and we're happy to continue it moving forward. Going on to our Junior Warriors program. So proud partner with the Golden State Warriors that provides a safe and fun environment for youth basketball for those in Alameda. It's a 12-week program where participants will learn fundamentals, basketball rules, discipline, hard work, and sportsmanship. It's a 12-week program, and we offer it to those who are ranging from kindergarten to the 5th grade. And it takes place at the, again, Alameda Point Gymnasium. And every individual gets their own kind of official Junior Warriors jersey, so that's a nice incentive for parents to get their youth involved because they get some swag at the end. So those are our youth sports, and we'll kind of go on to what we're offering currently, but what's on the horizon? What are we looking for in the future? So one of the programs we're going to be starting in the summertime or the fall, September, will be Youth Flag Football League taking place at Estuary Park. For those who know, we have a beautiful facility over at Estuary, a multipurpose field, a lot of user groups, whether it's the school district, clubs, other organizations use the field on a weekly basis. However, we don't currently have a lot of ARPD programming going on over there, so it's kind of almost a shame that we don't have anything kind of going on at this moment, but we're going to be starting this Youth Flag Football League in September. And similar to Junior Warriors in the sense of the kind of the age group style, but again, we're very much looking forward to it. A couple other things, expanding our pickleball programs to 3rd and 5th graders, so Monday through Wednesday, starting the academic year. So we'll still do Tuesdays and Thursdays with those 6th to 8th graders, but we're going to be offering it to the different age group, so wanting to be more accommodating. And also, lastly, in the fall, we'll be offering youth tennis lessons to 15 to 17-year-olds. So right now, we're only going up to 14. We've had a lot of members of the public ask, hey, my individual or my youth is interested in participating in tennis classes, but they're 15 or 16 years old. Currently at that time, we don't have anything offered. So, after kind of reviewing the feedback from the public, we made the decision that we want to expand our classes that we're currently offering. So that's our youth sports. We'll go on to adult sports right now. So currently we're offering adult group tennis lessons at Cruzy Park. Mondays through Thursdays, beginner and advanced beginner classes offered from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Class sizes are typically up to 8 individuals. And then we also have private lessons taking place at Lydecker and Washington Park. It's, like I mentioned, beginner, advanced beginner. It's really much introductory into the sport of tennis, teaching those essential motor skills to members of the public who are interested in starting up tennis, and those who have already maybe participated in our beginner classes, kind of going on to the next intermediate beginner, kind of honing those skills. So those classes we've been offering throughout the entire academic year, or the school year, and now into the summer, and looking forward to continuing them moving into the fall. Okay. And then women's flag football. We currently have a women's flag football league taking place at Estuary Park on Thursday evenings. We have 64 females enrolled in the program. It's very funny because when we open registration, within 5 minutes, it's completely full. So it is very popular with the public. And we're very much happy to continue to offer it to the city of Alameda and those interested, obviously as well, who are from outside of Alameda. But it always blows my mind when we open up registration to see how quickly it fills up. And then open gymnasium, like Mr. Long mentioned, we currently offer that from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Alameda Point Gymnasium. This is every Sunday. We have Alameda Point Gymnasium has 4 courts available, and we open up 2 to the public for casual shooting, drills, whatever they want to do. A lot of pickup games are formalized and started, and it gets pretty competitive, which I've been told by our staff that work there. But we're happy to have it available to members of the public who are able to kind of blow off some steam. It's a great opportunity for those, and always looking to kind of expand those opportunities. So, and then pickleball. Currently, we're offering pickleball classes at the Hub, and here at Alameda, we have a wonderful instructor who works very hard to ensure that our participants are getting the most out of what we're offering. Beginner and advanced beginner classes are offered. We have clinics that usually are 1 week, and then 4-week sessions, which is typically the time frame for those classes. So those are taking place in the summertime, and they will also be taking place in the fall as well. And then we also offered drop-in pickleball at the Alameda Point Gymnasium. That took place on Fridays in the mornings. We are continuing that into the summer. A lot of people were very sad to see it stop after June, and a lot of people wanted to see it continue on. So we were able to intertwine it with and put it in the schedule, fit it in the schedule with what we're currently offering at the gymnasium during the summer, as we get a lot of demand from user groups who use the gymnasium for practices. So I'm very happy to continue to offer that going forward. And one of our kind of most popular programs that we have going on right now is adult softball. Currently going on, we offer men, women, and co-ed divisions comprised of 9 leagues with a total of 45 participating teams. You know, from what I've been told, that ARPD softball has been very popular in years past, and it's sad to see that some of the numbers might have gone down at this point, but you know, we're doing everything in our power to see what we can do to raise those numbers back up. So a lot of this time right now is kind of hearing what teams have to say, suggestions, kind of reviewing what's going on and seeing what we can do to enhance the experience. So but we're very proud of the program what we have right now. We love our scorekeepers that do a great job, dedicate their evenings to scoring the games, as well as our park staff who spend every day making sure that the field is lined and dragged. For those who are participating to be able to kind of come out to a nice field every day, I think that's quite a privilege to be able to do. Again, hats off to our parks department for making that happen on a daily basis. Just like youth sports, kind of what is on the horizon. Or as you can see, I should say, a lot of youth sports, very youth sports heavy, right? We have a lot of programs offered to youth. We have adult softball going on for co-ed, men and women, in addition to our female flag football league and tennis lessons. But other than that, we don't really have a lot going on. So one of the things that we are going to be implementing this fall is a dodgeball league. So it's going to be in the pilot season, so we'll kind of see how it goes and see kind of what turnout we get. So expect to see those registrations open up in July. And, we're excited. We're kind of in the process of kind of seeing how other organizations, other departments do it. Again, it's a pilot season, but another way for grown-ups to blow off steam, and nothing sounds better than hitting someone with a dodgeball. So. And then also kickball as well. We're looking at doing that, but that won't be until the springtime or into the summer. So, and I believe that's it. So, go to my next slide. So, thank you. Kind of main takeaways. We're very proud of what we're offering right now from a sports, adult, and youth standpoint. However, this is also a kind of evaluation period too. What is working? What do we want to implement? We have a few new pilot programs going on, just like our Ultimate Frisbee Camp that's taking place at Alameda Point Multipurpose Field. Offering new sports, new opportunities for youth. That's something that you might not typically see at another department. So, doing everything in our power to get creative. And also expanding our programs right now from a tennis standpoint. We're actively looking for new tennis instructors to come on board and have those available who are willing to work with the city of Alameda and offer more programming to the public, whether that be youth or adults. So we're in that process of looking for new individuals. We are very happy that we have a new youth tennis instructor who will be starting in July. But again, we're looking at growing these programs. So that's pretty much it. I appreciate everyone's time, and hopefully you have a better understanding of what we're doing here and kind of who we are. Again, very proud of our staff and what we have offered for the summer into the fall, and looking forward to the months ahead. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, commissioners?
Not necessarily questions, but Ultimate Frisbee, so happy that you're doing that for the youth. We're seeing that in the schools, big uptake for Ultimate Frisbee, and really glad that you're expanding the tennis to the older students, because there are a lot of older students that don't have an avenue to go to for that. And I do want to just say hats off to the Hub for the relationship that they've developed for pickleball with the city. We're really lucky that they've been as generous as they have been for the city. And I'm going to be joining the Dodgeball League for sure. That'll be fun. Great, and I love the idea of putting together some pilots, see what works, because we'll just see who's out there adult-wise that would like to, like you said, blow off some steam, so.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for your presentation. It was nice to get to know you. Thanks for giving us that information about you. And again, welcome. We've chatted a few times. I have a couple quick questions. The pickleball for kids, where are you doing that? Is it
At the Alameda Point Gymnasium.
Okay, here's the question. It might be for Director Long. Wasn't it stated that, I believe it was Lincoln and Love School have pickleball lines on the playgrounds? If we were to have access to that, would that give us more chances to offer classes for kids during the summer?
I think, it's a little complicated, but yes, I think overall, if we had a better use agreement with the school districts, getting some access to those facilities, we could offer additional programs and in a more equitable distribution around the island.
Okay, I just wanted to bring that up. And also the homeschool PE, how many kids do you have attend that on Fridays
Yeah, absolutely.
or Wednesdays and Fridays?
So
Approximately.
we go up to 20 participants. That's the most we take, but typically between that 10, 15 number.
That's a good number.
Yeah, absolutely. And we usually have two staff working that event. So that one staff member to kind of 7 participant ratio. So, but yeah, typically that 10 to 15 number is what we take in.
Do you have the same kids come every week?
Typically, yes. It's typically the same group of individuals, but sometimes we'll get new individuals who hear about our program and they're interested in trying it out.
Sunday gym.
Yes.
How many people are you getting in there at Sunday nights to play basketball?
It
On
varies.
average?
Yeah, it varies. We take up to 25 individuals. Typically, we get around 15, I would say, on average. Again, we open up 2 courts for the public. We have other 2 courts that are scheduled or reserved for practices that other youth organizations use the gymnasium on Sunday evenings. But we have those 2 courts open up for open gym.
Okay, another question. Adult sports and adult softball, I know all about that. Back in the day, the softball players used to go out after the games, and the front room it's a Chinese restaurant now, but it used to be the front room pizza parlor on Webster Street. And someone sitting at this dais here used to work there as a cocktail waitress in the front. So I know all about the softball teams, and I got good tips on those nights. I like those. So it's great to see that they're coming back. I know there was a lull there for a while, so I'm really glad to see that we're bringing that back. That adult kickball league, I think they do that at Tillman on the weekends. I drive by there, and there seems to be adult kickball games there. Have you?
Not organized by ARPD at
But
this
I
time.
said, well, I think that's what they're doing. That's what it looked like. This adult dodgeball could be really interesting. I know what dodgeball was with a 2nd and 3rd grader, so this adult dodgeball could be interesting. I just want to thank you for all of your hard work, and I love the imagination of some of the new things that we're coming up with. And I want to thank your staff, because I know that sometimes the staff doesn't get a thank you because they're behind the scenes. But as a former park director, I know how hard they're working, and I know how hard all of you are working to make this all work. So I just want to give you a shout out and say thank you.
Thank you.
I'll echo Commissioner Robbins with I love the idea of doing the pilot programs, just seeing kind of what sticks, what doesn't. I think that's a great idea. My only question is there anything you wish you were able to offer that we either just don't have the space for? Is there anything that you would really wish we could, or think that people are asking for and we just don't have either the facilities or the time for?
I don't think so at this time. I think we're very fortunate in terms of what we have to offer. I mean, we have the Alameda Point Gymnasium, which is 4 courts accessible for us, available to us to use. That's a lot of space to do various activities simultaneously. During the summer, we have volleyball taking place on 1 court. We can have pickleball taking place on another court. So we're very lucky to have that facility to have these various activities, again, go on simultaneously. Right next to the gym, we have the Alameda Point multipurpose field, which we can use for kickball. We can use for ultimate frisbee, capture the flag, flag football. I think what we have is, we should be very fortunate about, what we have. And then, things that we look to implement, I would say, dodgeball, kickball, other things that we don't have at this time, that we don't currently offer, but we do have the facilities for, right? So I think for us, kind of, putting our hard hats on and seeing, okay, this is what we've done. We're trying to maximize it, perfect it, but also go on to what's next. Always kind of stay one step ahead.
Great to hear.
I have one more question. It might be for Director Long. If we had more cooperation with the school district and were able to use Alameda High School gym or Encinal High School gym, would we be able to offer more programs or accommodate more kids in some of the programs?
What I would say is the school district is pretty heavily rented. They've heavily utilized their space. So they don't sit empty, is what I'm saying. And so I think they're providing as much activity for kids and user groups as they can that we can accommodate. And so I think we're kind of at a breaking point of just the expansion into everything. I know the Alameda College is booked out at their gym. Their facilities are rented. And so I think we're just kind of at capacity until we can get to the point where we can expand the sports complex. Once we get to that point, we'll be able to offer a lot more amenities, whether it's tennis, additional basketball, soccer fields, So once we get to that point, we'll be able to actually have a much more robust ability to expand programs.
Thank you.
Do we have any public comment?
No public comment.
Any other comments, commissioners? All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on our agenda, we have regular agenda item 6B, which is just to receive an update on the Aquatic Center project. Again, we'll have a report and presentation. We can ask clarifying questions. We'll leave time for public comment, but there's no motion to make on this item.
All right, good evening, commissioners. Director Long. I'm also serving as the project manager for the Aquatic Center. It's been a while since we've been back, and so I'm here to give you guys some updates as to where we are in the design process, where we were, and just next steps. So here's where we left off last fall with the selection of a two-pool solution. That was after over 4 community workshops, 3 community-wide surveys with over 3,000 responses. And so what we've been doing now is taking this and then refining it. We've had further studies done, but I just kind of want to remind everyone of kind of what it looked like before we had to start moving through the schematic design and the design development process. So here's an aerial view of the main building with the locker rooms, the entry, and at the end, sort of the south east end here was an open pavilion. And then you had the recreational pool, and then separated by some seating with a wind wall, and then the 30-meter competition pool. And then surrounded by a large wind wall. So as we all know that if anyone's ridden their bike through Gene Sweeney Park, it is a windy trail to ride on. And so there's definitely some necessity for that wind wall. So here's again looking from the Alameda cross Alameda Trail, looking at the sort of the entry with the bike parking. You can sort of see the pavilion here, the entry area, and the wood cladding, and sort of that was the design aesthetic that we were going with at the time. So as we've developed the project, there's been some issues that have come up that we've kind of had to address here. The original schematic design cost estimate came back and it was $42 million. Our project budget, just as a reminder, is $30 million. And so we had to do a lot of modifications, but there are some key things that we have to address as we build this project. One of the things that is built into this project is complete economic uncertainty at this point. We know construction costs are going up between 5% and 6% a year. So during this project, we've baked in escalation as it's being built over 2 years. And then we have higher contingencies. Right now, we're sitting at about a $4.9 million contingency, just because we do not know where the pricing is going to come in at, and so, or what will arise. What we do know is that we got a complete geotechnical report for the property along Gene Sweeney. Now, just want to go back a little bit as to why this site was selected. So this site was selected through a large community process. We looked at school property, we evaluated land out at Alameda Point, but one of the unique things around selecting this end of Gene Sweeney Park was it was located on the Cross Alameda Trail. There's connections to the neighborhood that are being installed. It's near transit. It's centrally located on the island. And so there's a lot of good things as to why the site was selected. We just have some issues that, almost anywhere in Alameda, we're gonna find that we have soil issues, we have groundwater issues, and so we've just had to figure out a way to adapt to them. For example, the soil condition is, and one of the things that we're really trying to do here is we're designing this facility to be an Emma Hood long lifespan. So we need to get about 70 years out of this pool. And in order to do that in an area prone with earthquakes, is we really have to make sure the ground is stable. And so we have to do some soil work and stabilization down to a depth of 35 feet. So this will prevent the pool from basically settling over the course of the years during an earthquake of a 7.8 is what it is being designed to. If the pool does settle more than 2 inches, per county regulations, it is rendered unusable. So we would have to then redo all the decking and then redo everything for the drains to make sure that it is level, which could be up to about $3 or $4 million, even in today's dollars. So spending some money to really ensure that the pool will be long-term is really what the team has been focused on. Also in Alameda, we're on an island, so groundwater is an issue. The groundwater in Gene Sweeney Park is between 3 and 5 feet on average throughout the year. Our pool has a maximum depth of 7 feet, and then it's going to be excavated down another 2 feet below that. So we have to deal with groundwater in order to maintain the pool. So there's some extra dollars that have to go into mechanical systems so that we can pump groundwater out when we need to maintain the pool and to take care of that. We also received instruction or direction from City Council back in September of 2024 to electrify the pool. So there will be no gas or gas emissions created from this facility, which does come with a premium though. And long term, the ROI will be great for lower utility rates. However, there's an upfront cost that we've had to accommodate, which has affected the price of the project. So we've had to make some value engineering decisions along the way. And so from what you saw, these are some things that we had to do. So we've had to remove the outdoor pavilion completely. We reduced the overall size of the administration building substantially in order to save dollars. The building heights have been reduced. From a massing perspective, overhangs have been tightened in order to save materials and expenses. We've switched the exterior material from that wood composite material to a split face block now. We've also added some perforated metal accents so that it still has some unique look to it, which we'll see in just a second. We've reduced the parking by over 20 spaces. We reduced the overall footprint of the site, which has really helped us to save some dollars. One of those was we actually rotated the activity pool in order to make the deck space a little bit tighter. And then we've had to, make some decisions around not building structure for storage, but having fenced-in area that is covered with a vinyl cover. So here we are today through design development. It mainly looks the same in plan. It's a little bit smaller. As you can see, the activity pool has rotated 90 degrees. But I want to emphasize everything that we heard in all the workshops, in all the surveys, is we need water space, and we need to have as much as we can. So every decision around budget reduction and project scope reduction has left the water space exactly the same. We've done everything we can to have no impact. It's still a 30-meter pool. There's still 3 lanes in the activity pool with a zero beach entry. And so when you look at it, the building with the mechanical and all the locker rooms, those are all the same. So that size has stayed the same, but really it's the smaller entry building where the management staff have to be. We did not get rid of the community room. Right now, there's a small room that is probably about 11 by 17. So you can have small group gatherings, but there really isn't a big gathering space there any longer. Like I say, we've refined it, so we've reduced the size of the wind wall by squaring things up, tightening them up. The bleachers are all still shaded, so we still tried to maintain the essence of the project along those lines. So here we get to what it looks like. So here's the bird's eye view of the aquatic center. And again, you'll just see that the massing at the corner on the southeast, the southeast corner has gotten a little bit smaller. Again, it's tucked in a little bit, and so it's just gotten a little bit tighter. We've tried to keep a good amount of deck space because we're still going to have spectators. All the seating is the same. There's still a wind wall in between the two. It's just now a glass wall. At one point, the facility was going to be stepped, but it worked out to be more cost-effective to keep it all in one level. So we've really done a reasonable job to try to minimize. We've added a drop-off zone. We know many people come and drop off their kids for lessons. So in the front of the facility, there's a large drop-off area. And so we've really tried to make some modifications. There's going to be a crosswalk that goes across Atlantic that has a flashing sign. And to the southeast corner, you're also seeing is the connection to 8th Street. So those right now are underway, and so there'll be another good connection point to the neighborhood to the south. Here's another view. Here's looking from across Atlantic in a bird's eye, just so you can kind of get a sense of the massing and how it's going to fit in. You can see the shade over the bleachers. And so this also gives you an idea of the equipment that's on the roof. So these are all the air chillers that have to be up there. They have to be perforated, and then we're carrying that same green massing along the backside of the storage so that, visually to the community along Atlantic, it still looks like a reasonable building. So here's, again, a street view as you're coming down Atlantic and what the facility will look like as you approach it. Again, as you can see, it's settled into the landscape a little bit more. That's still that large oak tree that we're preserving there to our left. And so we've just tried to make some modifications and good budget decisions that will help us get this project over the board. With all the value engineering, with all the modifications that we've made, we've been able to reduce the price from the $42 million to $35.5. Now, $35.5 is still higher than our allotted budget, but in this next budget cycle, the city manager has proposed using $4.5 million out of the funds in unassigned reserve in order to get us to the point where we can get this over the finish line. There's also the city sold bonds to support this facility, which also generated about $1.1 million in revenue, which is going to be applied to the facility as well. So just wanted to give you guys kind of an update on, we are trying to make the budget work. There's still unknowns, but the good thing is of that $35.5 million, almost $5 million of that is contingencies based on all the different things that are going to be happening throughout the project. Here's another view from the Cross Alameda Trail. As you can see, the large pavilion on the left-hand side is missing, but you can still see the glass windows where there is that smaller community room. Again, the facility footprint is primarily the same, but the water space, again, is what we held as our draw the line in the sand that we will not touch. And so as we continue to do the project, that is still going to be the #1 priority, since that's what the community has requested. So what has been completed so far, we've done the schematic design, the design development, which really gets us to a process where we've confirmed. We had another cost estimate done, which is reassured that it is still at $35.5. So our next step is we're going to be going to the planning board on the 23rd for our CEQA approval and acceptance, but also our use permit. So that officially gives us the ability to move forward. It'll then go to City Council on July 1st and for their approval as a project. And then our construction documents have been ongoing as we've been moving through this to keep the project on schedule. So that'll be finishing up in August of '25 with hopefully bidding and project award sometime in December, which would then mean construction starting in January, where they can start doing all the soil amendments that we have to do. So with that, I'll give you, that's the brief update, and so I'll open it up to questions for commissioners.
Questions, commissioners?
I guess I just have one. You answered one of my questions about the wind wall. With a smaller community space, I know that the rental fees from that was all part of how we'd make this all work. Do you anticipate a big drop in that revenue because this community space is smaller?
You know, it'll vary on based on what we can actually provide. So we may have to get a little creative of how we offer birthday parties. They may get like a shaded area somewhere instead of in the community room. So we still might be able to keep that going, but there will be some drop in revenue based on the size. But we still have a community room that we can utilize. It just won't host large parties. So we'll just have to adapt a little bit, but there will be some revenue impact to that reduction.
That's about the only question I have.
Have we thought about some kind of a pavilion like we have at the other end of Gene Sweeney? Maybe if we put a pavilion across from where that's at in the open space, people could rent that and use that? But again, there's costs.
I think long-term, what we've tried to do is preserve the space that's going to be across from the Alameda, from the Aquatic Center to the east is for the community garden.
The community garden.
So I'm sure that will have some shade built into it as we continue throughout the design process there. It won't be really reservable, but it'll be utilized for the community garden. I think there's enough shade over the bleachers that we've been able to provide a reasonable space that'll have some shade there. But again, it won't be for reservability. It'll be more for spectators and participants.
I just have one more comment. Since the city council wants us to spend $1 million to make this all electric, I hope that they will fork in another $1 million towards our project. So put that on record.
Again, I think that, you know, as in the proposed budget, the 4.5 million is to help account for the electric. I also want to, I didn't include in this, but I've been working closely with the general manager of AMP as well as the Public Utilities Board, who is very in support of the project in making the Aquatic Center a demonstration project. They've also created a rebate system for the Aquatic Center so that we'll be able to get a percentage of our spend on the equipment back, which is helping the project. So again, I think that partnership with our local utility has been very helpful, and they're going to be very helpful through the process. So.
Perfect. I had that same question because I know you were talking with AMP, so glad to continue to have their support. I guess, thank you for keeping the water space. I appreciate that. You know, any change, I think, as you know, any change to either the pool's water space would have just impacted the programs we're able to have. And so really glad we were able to keep the pool space as is. I see, I'm just getting super specific here, but it looks like there's an entrance. I'm just thinking, like, if there's ever, you know, with the minimization of the pool deck space, if there's ever an event like water polo tournaments or swim meets, obviously we're not gonna be able to host everybody on the deck. But it looks like there's a door, or at least a gate from the competition pool where you could kind of turn the corner down Atlantic and then use that grass area. So is that accurate?
So that gate there is primarily used for emergency egress.
Okay.
There are gates that are on the southeast side of the building.
Okay, cool.
That are a double 10-foot gate. So that if we had to get large teams through, we have the ability to do that and to also get other type of maintenance equipment in. But that's where the pavilion used to be.
Got it.
And so now it's we've got a large exit area there.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you. That's my only question. Any other questions, commissioners? Do we have any public comment? All right, no public comment. Any other comments? Great.
Good.
Thank you, Director Long.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so next on the agenda, we have our next meeting, which is scheduled for July 10th, 2025. Do we have any suggested agenda items from the commissioners?
I would like to get an update on the BMX facility or whatever it is, the loop for Gene Sweeney, and just the progress on when and if that's going to occur.
Okay, we can bring that as an update.
Director Long, do we have anything specific for next week or next month?
Yes, so we will have 2 items for next week. There's going to get a presentation from the housing, the Shrub Group will give you an annual report on what activities are happening. It'll be about a 20-minute presentation, and then the individuals for the surf pool will be bringing a presentation to the commission for their proposal. And as a workshop, so just to get your feedback and comments about it.
Great, that's great to hear. All right, and that leaves us with our last thing, which is adjournment. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Could you roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Alexander,
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins,
Yes.
Vice Chair Schwartz.
Yes, and that concludes our meeting. Thank you, everybody.